Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Amy here at SirenSoulCoach.com, and today I wanted to talk about the topic of timelines. Timeline shifts happen when you have successfully upgraded your energy or core frequency. You may have had to do a period of shadow work or self reflection before you are able to, before your new reality or timeline opens up. And I just want to start by saying that there are many timelines that, or possibilities for every human life on Earth. We all have various timelines that are running simultaneously, and depending on what state of consciousness that we're living in and the frequency that we hold, it will depend on which timeline we're experiencing. And so we all have the capability of manifesting a higher timeline or, um, a greater life experience for ourselves through doing some shadow work and through raising your vibration and staying positive, even in the face of challenges or difficulties, trying to still stay positive and look at the bigger picture. Yeah, just choosing to, obviously we have moments where our outlook can be a little depressed or bleak depending on the challenges that are facing us. And that's okay to have those temporary moments of sadness or depression or fear or whatever human experience that we're feeling in the moment. But, to try to always snap yourself back out of that and know that things will get better if that's what you will and choose to experience. You just have to kind of keep on trying to aim for that higher thought and imagining your world to be greater and better than what it is right now, if that's what you so desire. We all have the capability to do that. So, yeah, I just wanted to speak on this today and a little bit about my experience with doing this. So, usually, when I feel like I'm in a place of stagnation or in my life, or I'm having like a deep desire, I feel like that's how it usually shows up first, like a deep desire to experience a new reality, a new job, new friends, new social standing, new home environment, new relationship, whatever it is for you that feels. So that, yeah, desire is usually the way it shows up for me at first, a deep desire to know or feel or have a different experience creeps in. And I believe that that desire comes from your higher self. That desire is there as like a signal, just letting you know that more is possible for you. And it's okay for you to want more and desire more. And it exists for you on a higher timeline. And you just have to move your frequency to that greater reality that you want to experience. The first step is to always just acknowledge the call or the desire that you have, right? And feeling that desire, because desire is technically a feeling of lack or not having what you want. And yeah, so the desire is just a calling, it's just a signal. So you definitely don't want to stay in the feeling of lack or the not having of what you want. You want to acknowledge the desire, but then get out of that by imagining that whether you do it in meditation or you just kind of do it in everyday life, where you're visualizing around you what the things that you would like to have in your reality, whatever those things are. it's going to look different for everybody. But you're acknowledging a greater reality around you, and you're feeling deep gratitude for the things that are in your life currently, and deep gratitude for the things that you want to bring into your life. So you're just, that high vibration of gratitude and joy and thankfulness for, yeah, for you being able to give that to yourself through those higher vibrations, those higher feelings, sitting in that, knowing that it will come about, how you shift your reality. And it doesn't happen overnight. It usually takes a bit of time for this to happen. It can be weeks, months, years, sometimes even, depending on what it is that you're calling in. I think every dream has a different gestational time that it takes to bring it into your reality, but you just have to really stay with it and don't let your dream die. Just know that you can always have it, and you have to keep on. That's another thing that's definitely required, is faith. Just having faith in the unknown and the unseen, even when it isn't in your reality yet. Having the faith that it will show up, it will be there eventually, if you keep on putting the energetic work in and the physical work in, if there needs to be physical work to manifest that desire. So if you want to, you have a desire for a certain kind of business, you obviously have to take steps in the physical world. You have to put in your time and energy to creating that business for it to show up in your reality. And then also, yeah, spend time in the non-physical of dreaming and seeing your business be large and expansive, and everything that it could be. The end. You want to go to the end, as Neville likes to say. What does the end look like for you? Is, whatever that business, say it's a business that you want to manifest. Like, do you have clients constantly, knocking at your door or emailing you or trying to get in to see you, and you're so busy because you're so successful? So that's the way, you could possibly see that as the end outcome. Or maybe it's in a certain amount of money in your bank account. That could be the end outcome from your business that you want to create. So yeah, all of these things are super important when you're trying to manifest, or, yeah, have a new timeline open up in your life experience. I've done this a few times myself. I've been able to manifest this beautiful home that I live in, that's on the water, that I always wanted. I've done it with relationships in my life. Yeah, I've done it with jobs and school. I've done it quite a few times. So yeah, I can help anybody who needs help with this. I'm just trying to give you some basics here, and just for you to know that it's definitely possible. Anything is possible. The divine dwells within you. And if all things are possible to God, then all things are possible to you. You just need to learn to use your consciousness to create the greater reality and believe it's possible. And yeah, and it will be. So, another aspect of creating your own reality or jumping timelines that I want to speak about is rooting out any old belief patterns that are running in the subconscious. You kind of have to work on rooting those out. A lot of them are based in fear. If you take a good look at them, they're old patterns that could be running subconsciously, that might look like, oh, I'm not good enough to be able to do this job that I want. I'm not enough to call in this person that I want to date into my reality. Or you know, just there's fears can come up, you know, of lack a lot of times. Just saying, just, telling you, oh, I've never had that before, or I don't even know what that would look like, or nobody I know has created the reality that I want for themselves, so maybe it's not possible. Like all those limiting beliefs, fears, and lack mentality have to be really worked on in your mind and let go of. You're not going to create a higher timeline for yourself with those old belief patterns if you're operating from that type of system and mentality in the back of your mind. So we really need to be mindful of the thoughts that we continually think, the things that come up and replay over and over and over again. A lot of us have them. They're belief patterns, and they're usually rooted from things that other people have told us. Yeah, and they're not serving you, and they're definitely not going to get you to where you need to go. So, yeah, they really need to be rooted out, and you need to be mindful of them, and yeah, replace them with affirmations of whenever you speak to yourself, you should always be talking in terms of the present moment. I have now what I want to have. And yeah, this should always be on the positive side. Like, I can have this, I can have that, you know, there is no lack. Anything is possible to me. So, limiting beliefs really have got to go, and you got to tell yourself a new story. So, your mind is definitely like a garden, and all the weeds need to be plucked out, and you need to be planting beautiful plants and flowers and shrubs up there, the kind that you would like to see in your reality, because that is what is going to, manifest if you want your life to change and get better. For example, I see women a lot complaining about men, and they're all jerks, and they're all this and they're all that. Well, you're never going to manifest a nice man into your reality if you're just saying that they're all dirtbags all the time, because you get what you expect or what you think about. So if you expect the worst, you're going to get the worst. If you expect the best, you'll get the best. So we need to elevate. So I also just thought I would go over some steps that I have used personally to manifest, or yeah, upgrade my timeline. So I would definitely take time every day to spend in meditation, and with your eyes closed, and the physical world blocked out. You're going to imagine your desired outcome, and if you can, use all of your physical senses to sense and feel that desired reality. So, if there's tasting involved, try to taste. If there's touch involved, touch whatever the desired outcome would be. If you need to hear a certain voice, use that. If you need to go to a certain place, you would, see yourself walking up the set of stairs that is there, or hanging off the balcony that's in your desired reality. Um, whatever spiritual, like your spiritual physical senses that you can use to inject into your meditation, are going to help your subconscious understand what you're trying to create and what you want to see happen in your world. So, yeah, with your eyes closed, you can still touch. You can still discern touch, taste, smell, and your physical senses. You can use those while in a meditative state to discern the reality that you want to create. Yeah, I would use a meditation doing that, where you're feeling yourself and having that thing in the present moment. And I would do this for, I don't know, a few days to weeks till you feel satisfied and that your subconscious has really gotten a sense of what it is that you're trying to create, and just feel the gratitude for it in your heart. And and then, yeah, once you feel that you've kind of saturated your subconscious with it, you've done it enough times, because you'll get tired of doing it, you know, after a while. At that point, you just need to let it go and trust, it's the universe's job to, you're essentially handing this baby, your creation, off to the universe to bring it forth into reality for you. And it will do that. But you need to not lose faith in it, in the meantime, and trust that it will, manifest in its own good time. And you don't know what that time is. And that's the hardest part of this whole process, for sure, is just letting go and trusting that it will come about. But I have faith in this process. Again, I've definitely used it, and um, yeah, I've had success with it, and I know you will too. Okay, so the last part of this video that I wanted to talk about was, um, signs that you're actually shifting timelines, because there are usually, um, signs and synchronicities that lead up to you actually experiencing the new timeline that you want to be on. The biggest one for me is seeing 11:11 on the clock all the time. When I'm upgrading to a new timeline, my eyes will always catch the clock at 11:11, 11:11 in the afternoon and in the evening. It may not be every day, but it will be a lot. It'll be more than usual. And that's always a big sign for me that I'm changing timelines. Yeah, also seeing your desired reality pop up more often than usual. That's another sign for me. So, say you were trying to manifest a new boat. Like, you might see, come out of your driveway and see that boat being trailered behind another car, or people in your reality constantly talking about boats more often than usual, or a commercial on the TV comes up for the exact boat that you want, or yeah, things like that. I feel like the thing that you're trying to manifest will just end up showing itself to you more often um, in your reality before you actually receive it. So that's another sign for me. Um, Feeling excited about the future can be another sign. Usually before a timeline shift, I'll start to feel like elevated and really excited, and like, yeah, like something is in the air, like something's going to change. Like, yeah, you just feel excited about what the future is bringing to you. So, just that excited feeling can be a a sign. Let's see. Yeah, coming out of a dark night of the soul phase of your life, if you notice that you're starting to lighten up after a long period of hermit mode, where you've done a lot of self reflection and shadow work, you'll usually have a big timeline shift after coming out of that type of experience as well. Because, you can only experience shadow and darkness for so long before, yeah, new life, new energy, a new timeline wants to come into your life. So, yeah, that's the timeline I'm coming out of. I've done a lot of processing and shadow work and hermit mode. And yeah, I'm happy to finally see the light at the end of the tunnel and be coming out of that phase because it can be long and difficult. And I'm happy to help or talk to anybody about that if they need it because it can be very hard. I feel your pain. So, yeah, sometimes seeing more rainbows. I tend to see more rainbows when I'm coming out of a dark period of my life. I've been seeing a lot of rainbows, whether in pictures, again on TV, in real life. I've just had a lot more rainbows, um, or shooting stars. Those have been signs for me too. I feel like it's kind of like a wink from the universe saying, "Keep going. Everything's going to be all right. You're getting there. You're going to make it. Keep your chin up. Stay positive." Of course, having dreams or vivid dreams where you're experiencing your desired reality in the dream, obviously a big sign too that your timeline is shifting or changing. Yeah, so those are some signs that I tend to notice when a timeline is shifting for me. I hope what I said resonated with you. And if you have any questions or want to talk about anything that I said, you can find me at sirensoulcoach.com. And I hope this helped you, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much. Bye.